Welcome to the Daily for Monday, April 19th. Greg Lawless, I'm Jason Seguini, and on Mondays we start with the headliners.
We have to start off right away, of course, with Edson Buddle. The Los Angeles Galaxy striker, another 2 goals this past weekend. He's now scored 7 goals in the 4 games the Galaxy have played. They've all been wins, and those are all the goals the Galaxy have scored so far. I don't know what it is. There's something in the water out there for him right now. He's only scored 5 goals in 2009. He's at 7 already.
Yeah, you can't really complain about anything. I think the worst thing you could say about the Galaxy is that they finally gave up a goal. So 4 games in, winning all the games. People are asking, is it a problem that Edson Buddle's the only guy who's scored for them? I don't think so, because it's not like it's all individual efforts. It's coming as a result of team play, team possession. So things are going well for the Galaxy no matter who's scoring.
And these have not been tap-ins either. A lot of these goals have been pretty good, where he's had to fight off a defender, or he's had to hit a long-range shot into the side netting, as he did against Real Salt Lake. It's been impressive, and of course now the rhetoric about Edson Buddle with the national team is just going to pick up a little bit more.
Yeah, we're not doing anything to hurt that. I feel like every week he's in the headliners, every week we're talking about how well he's doing, but that said, it's deserved so far.
Let's see if he goes the whole season scoring every goal the Galaxy scores.
Well, he did start off hot in another season 2 years ago. He started off hot and then just kind of cooled in the second half and couldn't find the net. So you would like to see if this keeps up throughout the whole season.
The Galaxy are now firmly atop the Western Conference, but another team out in the West started to make a move. The Houston Dynamo. They exploded in the attack finally. Brad Davis was the catalyst of it all. He only got 1 assist in the 3-0 win over Chivas USA, but his ability in the midfield to create space, to create half chances for everybody, really started to play a role in that.
I know he's a player who's been recognized by the league, but to me, he still feels like he's underrated. Maybe it's because he doesn't get the looks with the national team as often as I think he should, but the guy has such a good awareness on the field. He knows where to put the ball, how to get his players into the right positions, and that ball that he gave to Aduro, he did everything right and made it impossible for Aduro not to score.
So if he's underrated, how do you rate him, and what position do you think is his best position?
I think he's a guy that you want out left. You want him on the left wing. You want him serving balls in. You want him there to take free kicks. The issue is he's not as athletic maybe as you might want your wing players to be in terms of getting up and down the field and getting back on defense. So you have to maybe have that great left back behind him to make up for some of that on the defensive side. But he is a player who helps you going forward, very much so.
Well, we can't leave the Houston game without mentioning Lavelle Palmer's screamer from, I don't know, I think he hit it from Dallas, that shot.
Yeah.
Went in the upper 90, a beautiful goal that has everyone in Houston asking one question.
Ricardo who?
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it went. Now, we have to get to the defensive side as well. A big, huge performance by Bouna Coundoul in New York.
Yeah, and he managed to fit it all in the second half. So Bouna Coundoul ends up with 7 saves all in the second half of that game, but he really kept his team in it. And that was a game that we said last year, New York loses that game. Yeah. Unquestionably, New York loses that game. And some people probably think that they deserve to lose this one. But Bouna kept them in it. They came back, and they got 3 points at home, which is important for them.
Still shaky in the back line because there were several breakaways that Dallas got out of that, and I think that Dallas actually outplayed New York on the day. Ended up getting that second penalty that Juan Pablo Angel put away. That was all they needed, plus Coundoul standing on his head, and they get the win. And I agree with you. I think last year or 2 years ago, this New York team would not have gotten the win. They would not have scrapped and gotten more chances. Makumba Kanji playing out there, making the moves in order to get that second penalty.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kanji, to me, is a guy who needs to be up front. I mean, they're putting him in midfield. I don't know how long that's going to last, but to me, he has the instinct of a goal scorer. He wants to go to goal. He wants to go to goal.
He doesn't pass the ball.
Right. He's not going to make that pass. He's not going to put that through ball because that's not the first thing on his mind. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up playing if he ends up partnering with Angel up top.
Well, maybe there's a player that should be playing up top anyway out in San Jose. The Earthquakes getting a second straight win. Ike Opara getting his second goal on the season, coming from a cross from Bobby Convey again.
Right.
Where's Opara supposed to be playing on this team?
I'll tell you what, he's a really good central defender, so he should be playing central defense, but they have to take advantage of him and the ability on set pieces moving forward. Wake Forest used to move him up to the midfield. Even our youth national teams, when he was playing, he moved up to the midfield several times when we were down a goal or something like that. So he is a guy who is versatile enough and can get forward. It'll be interesting to see if San Jose finds a way to use it in that way.
Well, we certainly like Ike right now, and I love his celebrations, actually. I've never seen someone who smiles as broadly as he does when he scores goals. It's really great to see.
Yeah. We're actually, I'm thinking now that we're looking at another really, really solid rookie class. When you look at Tim Ream and what Tim Ream did this weekend, Ike Opara is doing well, Shalosky obviously with the hat trick. So a lot of rookies standing out already. It'd be interesting to see if we have a back-to-back solid rookie classes.
And Zach Lloyd down in Dallas also getting a start. Now, we need to stay out in the West a little bit with Toronto, Colorado. We cannot leave this entire discussion without discussing de Guzman standing in the wall. Or not. Oh, yeah. No, he actually jumped and got out of the way almost. I don't know what that was all about.
My first reaction is, why is de Guzman in the wall? He's your smallest player. He's a guy who is good on the ball. He should probably be standing at the top of the box to clear out any ball that comes out. There's no way he should be in the wall. And I think Preki mentioned it after the game that that's not where he should have been on that play. So it's interesting, where do you point the blame?
I think that raises some questions, though, again, about Preki. There's so many issues right now in Toronto, but if Preki's got a guy who's not doing what he's supposed to do, because the wall is set by the coach before the game. You get in there and you say, these are the guys who were in the wall for something like that. If de Guzman is jumping in there, then there's a problem. Now, it did come somewhat late in the game, so maybe there was a substitution, and things weren't communicated. But that, again, is communication in the locker room of coach saying, when you come on, you're taking his place in the wall.
To me, that falls on Stefan Frei, though. You're setting the wall. You need to say, Julian, get up there and someone else get in.
We'll blame everybody. Everyone takes some responsibility. Ultimately, Toronto lost 3-1. They are struggling. They're hurting, and those fans are not going to accept it for much longer. That's for sure.
Right. We definitely look forward to seeing what happens there. There's so much pressure on that team this year with MLS Cup being there. It'd be interesting to see what comes out.
That's it for the Daily today, but we'll be back tomorrow.